Hello. Today we are going to be reviewing Thor Ragnarok!
That's right!
We are Filmgate, and I'm
Flame
Seth
on.
Stanfill.
Oh, wait.
I'm Jared.
I'm Jeff. Nice to meet you all on the internet. Sweet.
Welcome. Anyway, we are the corner of the internet that is of Filmgate. And so, we're going to be talking about Thor. It's going to be good. It's going to be crazy. So, my review was kind of along with your review. Do we all have a similar take on it?
Yeah.
You were a little more negative than we were, I think.
I think Jared's the most negative, but none of the three of us were completely appeased with the Thor Ragnarok film. So.
Yeah, agreed.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know? No, maybe not a 6, but...
I'm going to say, I give it
maybe
7.5.
a 6.
7.5 for me.
Yeah.
7.5.
I'd give it a
around
6, actually. I actually would give it a... That's a genuine...
That's
You're the
rough.
you're the IMDb like rating troll. So
Maybe.
whatever. So anyway, okay. Let's just start off. So Thor Ragnarok is the third installment of the standalone Thor series. The first time he's really had other superheroes in the film with him, to my knowledge. I don't think that he had like co-stars in the Dark World.
No.
So he's got
Well,
pairs.
Captain America kind of made a showing.
A quick showing, but really, he really is paired with somebody. And the big thing that I was going into, I had to kind of research like what is Thor Ragnarok. So like what is Ragnarok? I don't think it's giving it away. They talk about it in the trailer. So we're trying not to do too many spoilers today. But what is Ragnarok?
Ragnarok, I didn't know before I started watching it. Ragnarok is apparently the end of Asgard.
Yes.
Basically, they're being taken down, and that's basically how the movie starts, talking about that.
But how did the prophecy...
It's a prophecy.
Do we know how like the prophecy was given? Like why it was given?
Now, I don't know. I don't even know after the film. Like,
No.
this guy is in like a cave. Literally, whatever. This is a big flaming guy in a cave, and he's like, Ragnarok, I'll kill everyone. And that's how it starts. And like, that's really all the backstory they give. So, dinging a little bit there. So a little bit of like,
-1.
okay, well now that I've accepted that, I guess I'll accept the rest of this ride for the next 2 hours. So that was good.
Yeah.
One of my things that I liked about the movie was there was a lot of good action sequences. So there was a good, I think, ebb and flow of a little bit of story development, get to a new place or a piece of the galaxy, and then lots of fighting, and then you get to another place and lots of fighting, which basically made the movie really fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did have kind of trouble really feeling like it needed to have as much happen as it did. I don't know. What did you guys think about that?
In these, go ahead.
I don't.
You okay with that?
Yeah, it's an action movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like all the Marvel movies are taking the same. They just keep going with tons of baddies that just get all fought off pretty easily, and over in every single movie. And that's where was it Civil War, where they had the airport one with a bunch of main characters fighting. That's where they did better, and I like that more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting tired of the same old big battle scenes with a bunch of supposedly big groups of bad guys who can't do anything.
Yeah, and like really, I feel ever since Avengers have come out, like it seems to be like somewhat cinematically universally illegal to create a movie that doesn't feature a minimum of 4 superheroes / Avengers, even if it is a standalone thing. Because I don't have to give a lot of stuff away, but obviously it's Thor and Hulk. But there are a lot of guest appearances in this that are substantial, and I was just like, it was weird to see so many things happening.
Are there?
There are.
There's
Like
one at
in
the
the
very
Avengers?
beginning. Do you not remember?
I don't.
Sherlock Holmes, come on.
Come on, you don't remember that?
Oh, well, that's maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
when-
like think about it.
when
Because
Doctor Strange
they're-
shows up, I was like,
Well, they're merging it with
Yeah.
Infinity Wars.
I know, but
Kind of.
it felt lame.
Well, like he has like the time stone, and they need to like the guy needs to get them all. You know what
That's
I mean?
right. Well, I almost spoiled something,
Yep.
but I didn't. I'll
No
talk to you guys later
spoilers.
about that because spoiler free.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway, I'm gonna get to my first beef. I like the fact that this planet that they get onto, obviously the arena that you see, it's legit. I like the scenario that they have. Jeff Goldblum made me laugh quite a bit. His character is hilarious. I don't even think I don't even feel like he pushed himself like to act. It's just he's just a quirky like part to play, and it made me laugh a lot. However, one of my biggest things I didn't like about the movie was just how idiotic they made Hulk, or childish. And I understand. I think that's part of what his personality can be.
Yeah.
But it really drug on me, especially when he's throwing his temper tantrums. I'm just like, this gets kind of old. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe other people liked it, but I felt like it was just a detraction from where he had been progressing with Banner and becoming a more like coherent Hulk, and now he was kind of back to just like the kind of doofus Hulk.
Yeah, butt of all jokes.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But I mean, if he is in Hulk mode, then it's just in Hulk mode. So it's kind of like,
I guess.
yeah, I don't know. That was my main beef with the movie. I think my main beef with the movie was like Thor. It's just kind of like, you had so much going for you, and he was cool and interesting, and then he's just like, now I'm just kind of like a joke. And I was like, I get it. Like, you want to try to make him more like human-esque, and like, you don't want to make him like separate, and he's like, I'm just this altruistic god that always like comes in at the nick of the day that nobody can beat. And like, I get that you want to like create that human element, but like, I feel like they just kind of like took any element of honor away from him. In a degree, you know what I mean? Like
I feel that. The first one, I actually didn't like the first Thor. Like, I think it's one of my least liked current cinematic universe Marvel movies, because he's not relatable in any way. He like doesn't know anything about Earth. He's kind of a doofus when it comes to common sense. And for being a prince that's been alive for hundreds or thousands of years, it's like, man, you have no common sense. And the second one, I felt like he's made relationships. He understands how to connect with people. He's been an Avenger and things like that. And then this one, he's progressed even further. Like you said, he's just almost a joke the whole time. Where I would say over half of his lines are comedic relief. And I'm like, you're supposed to be the god of thunder, the leader of Asgard, and things like that. And it just didn't. I think that was a disconnect for me. I don't know. What do you think, Seth?
Yeah, that was a big part in this movie. As you see, Marvel movies are kind of pushing themselves more towards comedy than they were the fantasy world, which I think, to me at least, is taking away a lot of the characters and how we feel about them. Like, we're not as passionate about the movie, about the plot and everything, so the whole movie is a joke at this point.
Yeah, like, like, do you remember the first Avengers? Remember how it opens?
That was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I can't remember.
They're like in this like super high-tech security facility that was run by, what's the Captain
The
America?
Russian people, yeah, the Red Skull. No, that was Captain America.
No. What's the name?
There's only 17 movies to remember.
The guy with the eye
Dr.
patch.
Zhivago?
The eye patch guy. Black.
Zemo.
Samuel Jackson.
Fury. Nick Fury.
Nick Fury. Thank
Shield.
you.
Shield.
Shield. There it is.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
so Shield. They open it like at this like super high tech Shield facility where they have the Tesseract, and it's like super like intense, like this is a real thing, and like wow, like there's something going on here, and then the whole place just like erupts, and like things start blowing up, and you're just like, what the heck, and like people are dying, and like man, and you cared when somebody died, and like
when people die in this movie, now first thing off, I was like, okay, it's PG-13, no blood. There's like literally no blood.
Right.
And there should be like rivers of blood. And like I'm just like, when they're dying, I'm like, that's unfortunate. You know, like that's literally how I felt like.
It's just like,
And we had Guardians of the Galaxy for all the humor. I mean, they didn't really need to turn
like, do you
Thor
remember
into that.
Iron Man's his security guard? What was his name?
Jarvis.
No, not Jarvis. Coulson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody felt bad about
Do
it.
you remember what he did? That sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
my
"Ah."
heartstrings were pulling.
Yeah, I'm feeling it right now.
When
And
he
like,
came back on the TV series, I was like, yeah. And then I
Right,
want to go into
spoiler.
that later. Whatever. So it's not a spoiler. It's been around for like
Yeah,
6
true.
years. So
yeah, that's true. But like things like that where it's just like there was real stakes.
Yeah.
Like one of our comrades was killed by this idiot who did something terrible, and now we're like going to get like vengeance, like the Avengers. And now it's just like, I'm just a joke and I'm spinning as I'm looking at like this god who's about to destroy my entire like Asgardian world, and he's just like,
Tons of people died in my city. Oh well.
yeah. It's just like that's what I feel like the Marvel universe is lacking, is like real stakes, and they take it away by cheap laughs, and it keeps the money coming in, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's easier to do and easier to write, so I could get like when you're dealing with such bulk of content, because they create 17, 19 movies.
Yeah. 17 currently.
Right. I can almost understand it, but at the same time, it's like, man, you had some really good points when like all of the citizens were like fleeing fleeing Asgard, and they were hiding out, and like you could have some real like human moments where it's like, wow, this is real.
Yeah,
but,
and I think they tried it. They tried it with the executioner guy.
right, but they didn't
But they didn't develop his character enough to make me care that he's that he has these emotional like things going on. I'm like,
It's just like, oh, cool. That's
still
nice.
a loser.
like it's
So-
always worse like when you like try to add it, but you do it like mediocrely, and you're just kind of like, maybe.
Yeah,
It's like,
I think for a while, Marvel, like if you look at the Marvel versus DC movies, movies have been overall darker than
Right.
Marvel.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's a differentiator they're trying to get going on. But I feel like if I really hope that they don't mess up Infinity War or the Infinity Stone War thing,
Yeah.
because that is epic. Like, all of the universes are going to be coming in together to like suffer from Thanos, and like, it's not funny. And like in the real comic, I mean, people die in this thing. So I don't know what they're going to take with it, but I feel like they're getting the characters to be so frivolous and lighthearted that we're not going to have the emotional heartstrings being pulled if they die. I mean, like just watching Thor get pummeled by Hulk in the arena
Oh, yeah.
should, I think, have been a little bit more painful to watch, but instead I'm literally laughing my head off the entire time it's happening. So I don't know. And again, they've got different directors for all these different franchises, and I know it's different. And not to knock them, I had fun in the movie. The movie was fun. It was fun to watch.
It was like,
but
yeah.
I felt like it could have been more of a film instead of more of a movie.
Yeah.
And I know there's like a differentiator that you could discuss about that, but
Right.
it was definitely just something to kind of go and see with friends, but it's not something that I would watch again to like invest in how I understand the characters or where the universe is going.
Right.
I just don't feel like that was in there at all. It was like total like one shot.
Pleasantly disappointed.
One shot, part 3.
Right. Like, yeah. Like nobody's gonna remember that movie in a year. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, everybody like,
Yeah.
Black Panther's coming out. And then everybody like, Ant-Man 2's coming out. And they're like,
Infinity Wars?
Infinity War!
They're just building
Maybe.
up for the
Maybe. Like that's a
Yeah,
maybe.
so.
What if they blow it? I don't know.
They won't blow it.
Unlikely.
It'll be good.
I mean, definitely, I see what you're saying, but they have so many movies. I mean, their goal isn't to make one movie that really is like stands out. I mean, Spider-Man was pretty good,
Right.
but most of their movies are just pushing towards a point. You had Section 1, like the first one, the second one. Now we're on the third set, and all pushing towards this big Infinity Wars. So I don't think it's as big of a deal that these movies aren't like, I'm gonna go back and watch it. It was so good, because they're kind of leading up to something not supposed to be their own big movie.
I really think, and again, we don't know because we're not the writers in the studio, but I think in Infinity War, and a lot of the stuff I read online, these actors, their contracts are coming up. They've played their characters for years, decades, some of them almost now. And so I really think that Infinity War could be a huge shift in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whether it resets it or whatever. I think that that's going to be a big deal because a lot of these characters that we've grown to know are not coming back. And we just, I mean, not this isn't a review of Logan, but Logan was kind of like that for Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, where saying, you know, I'm done. I played this since I have my first X-Men is on VHS. So I'm like, he's played it as long as VHS, you know. So like, it's a long time. So I think with this film, like I know that some of these characters are going the same route. They're kind of like done playing them. They want to do other things cinematically, but these films take up a lot of life too. So it's kind of nice. It would be nice for them to be able to do other projects.
Yeah.
But anyway, kind of get rid of this because, you know.
Got shattered.
This is actually from Thor: The Dark World, a movie theater cup from when I went there. So
Really?
Wow.
saved it forever. It's pretty cool. Too bad it's not on the real one because it gets destroyed for this one. So I guess they should have had like a lightning burst or something. But I don't know. As far as like other content, visual effects wise, I think it's just on par as everything else.
Yeah.
There weren't any like surprises or I thought like epic moments that were like made my eyes bleed and things like that. But it was just kind of fun to watch. You know, it was just, kinda just a fun sit back when we watch a movie.
I think the biggest plot twist for me was like how Odin like controlled the 9 realms. That was like the biggest moment for me. I was like, oh shoot, Asgard's got some blood in their hands.
True.
Yeah, there are some good plot twists in there about what you perceive, not to give anything away, but that you perceive. The relationships between some of the characters are really interesting, though at the same time, other than the fact that there's our relationships, we didn't get a lot of detail planning or depth into those. So at the same time, it was just like a big battle, and the relationships almost didn't matter. So again, when you have 2 hours, it's hard to fit a ton of stuff into 2 hours, and that's one of the arts of screenwriting and filmmaking. But
Yeah, they still have a lot in there.
It's
there
crazy.
was. When I think back about it, there's a lot of stuff in there. But so overall, I still say a solid 7.5 for me, maybe leaning towards 8, just because I did have fun while I was
Right.
watching it. It wasn't until I started assessing what I had watched that I realized a lot of these holes. When I'm watching it, it didn't really bother me too much.
Right.
The fact that like I was talking with Jared, the fact that all of the known universe speaks English, I'm cool with that. You know, every alien's race speaks English, but they crack jokes that are like
About our culture.
about our culture, and that kind of started throwing me off. But you know, most people I've talked to haven't been bothered by that. So
Yeah, so in my book, similar things, probably a 7. I would give it a 7. Jared?
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
there we go.
6 out of 10. Pleasantly disappointing.
And that is the hammer.
I guess we're done.
Yep.